Hello, Game of Thrones fans, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Lady Firesnow. I'm here with Quay Theory. Say hello, Quay.
Hello, Quay. Too much imp wine. I'm sorry.
Yes. Cheers.
I did that during the series. Did you see me going in for more wine constantly?
Yes. Constantly. Constantly getting more wine. So
I had to. That was really disappointing.
Well, not the first part.
They started out strong, right?
Yes. They started out so strong. I was very pleased with the beginning. Very pleased. I'm trying to pull up the chat. Do what?
You're like, okay.
Say that again?
You were kind of frustrated with just Tyrion. Like, you can tell. I saw that you could tell at the beginning they were wasting our movie time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's walk slowly and just look at Tyrion walking. Yes. Let's look at Tyrion's face.
Yes. I mean, they were sticking their finger out to us like no one's business.
Yeah, they didn't even give us. What about the joke? Like, I'm gonna get. They were so fuck you with the joke even.
Why? What did we do? We figured out their ending before what? We made it better?
Because we had a better ending than they did?
Oh, yeah. Everybody on YouTube had way better endings than they did. Everybody.
That's upsetting.
We all predicted way better.
Very upsetting. Very upsetting.
Yeah.
Somebody's watching before I even plugged in here. I gotta turn
They probably went to bed pissed off.
Everybody went to bed pissed off. Okay, so we're gonna rewatch the episode. They didn't even give us the name of the episode yet. I've noticed they haven't put the name up there. If anybody can see the name of the episode.
I think the episode was Game of Thrones because that's the name of the show. Game of Thrones.
It always says that yes. Game of Thrones with the number before the episode name pops up. So that would be suck if if that's what it was.
That's it. This is the game. This is the end game. That's what they should have said. It's been already taken.
Need to
It's been taken by Marvel Comics.
So I liked that they showed in the map with the King's Landing all destroyed. I was really hoping to get some smoke, kind of like we did after Winterfell got burned. On the map, they had smoke.
Yeah.
Yes. Alicia's asking us if we're going to do a live stream. I'm going to tell her we are here now.
What did you think about Grey Worm's character and his purple lips? That was weird, right?
I didn't notice.
They overdid the makeup on him way too much.
Yeah, I think that's what that was. I don't think it was he was going cuckoo. I knew he was going to go to Nath. That was what that whole conversation was with him and
where they were burning the collar.
Yeah, remember him and Missandei? Me and
oh yeah, when they were saying they were going to go. Yes, I knew that too, but still, I mean, him going crazy like that, like Danny did. I think when they were burning the collar, that was like their agreement that they made. Kill them all because they're both mad.
They were both mad at that point, right?
Yeah. So him cutting their throats and all that, he was just off the deep end like she was. And even him looking at John, he did. But I mean, I was just really surprised because I really saw him as a second character or third or fourth and getting killed off early in the season, which was really weird that they kept him.
Yeah, I was surprised that he lived to the end too.
Yeah, I would think that Ron, that actor, whoever played Ron, would get more airplay than he would. Everything was just weird. There's a whole bunch of, you can tell there's politics and all this stuff behind it.
Yeah, I'm sure Bronn probably.
I was driving home. Sorry, I got your bus.
I'm sure Bronn probably had another commitment because there was such a large gap of time, between the seasons, and he wasn't a big character. So I'm sure with all of the, fame of Game of Thrones that he got offered some big job that he didn't want to turn down.
I think they just said that because of the relationship he had with
Jamie and Tyrion.
the relationship he had with Cersei, the actress. What is her name? Finley. So they had to separate them because of the bad breakup.
Alicia's.
But I think that hindered his role in this show in Game of Thrones. I think that's why they didn't give him more, write him in more.
Yeah.
He was definitely on his way.
I'm trying to find my remote for the volume. Here it is. So Alicia's here with us on chat.
Hey, Alicia.
She says that she now wishes that the White Walkers would have won.
Oh yeah. I mean, they should have won. I mean, come on, they've been around for thousands of years. They went in solitude and they went in hibernation. I mean, old Nan told the story. They totally went off of all of that.
We totally got the shaft on that whole storyline. And I've been saying it, I'll say it again. I really think they're going to give us the whole White Walker storyline in the prequel. We're going to get that in the prequel.
Really cool when Dawn and the Wildlings were walking out.
Yeah.
They were walking, and all of a sudden in front of them was either the symbol, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we're still here, you know?
Yeah, that would have been good, I think. That would have been good.
Dawn looked down like, what the hell? I started looking back at the gate. But anyway, whatever.
Well, I guessed when Tormund, so I got a few things right that happened not.
Oh, you did.
I did. I got some things right.
Nailed some stuff. You did. You did really good.
When Tormund said, "You belong north of the wall," in my analysis video of that episode, I had said that John's probably going to go north of the wall at the end, which I was disappointed to see.
That's where he fell in love.
Yeah, that's where.
I love the fact that he paid homage to his real life wife. I love that.
Yeah. That was good that they did that. You know, this is really cool. Egret being his real wife and all that.
For that. I don't know.
Maybe he did.
That
I don't know.
was really nice though.
And then Arya selling west of Westeros.
You nailed that.
I really, really wanted that, and I got that, so I was pleased with that.
Yeah, she's going to be Columbus. She's going to discover that the world is not flat.
Sansa being queen. I did.
Costume design.
I liked
it.
it.
They did not fail us. They went through to the very end. That was awesome. Loved it.
I did like that. That was really nice. Really nice. It was very pleased with that. I cannot wait to make that costume. Since daughter Firesnow is going to be going to Con of Thrones with us. So I am looking forward to making. As soon as she saw it, she was like, "Mama, can you make me that one?"
Can I wear that?
Yes. Yes. So we will be making that for her. So I can't wait to do that for sure.
Yeah.
Alicia says she misses you. She's saying that to you, I think, Quaith. And
I missed her too.
Yeah, she says, so basically Bran went on the ridiculous journey just to have everyone save him so that he could be king.
Whatever.
That was his whole purpose, was for him to be king. just
Yeah.
It was good.
He's like, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, I was like, really?
Oh God, he got so cheated out on lines and everything.
What I want to know is,
you know what? My hat's off to the actors for sticking through this.
Right?
Yes. And I think they did it for us fans.
I think so too.
I think so too, yeah.
I think so too. I mean, I think, where was the third twist? Anybody?
I think Grey Worm was the third twist. For him to have that much power. One would think that he would be the one with all the power. Really? He put John in prison. I really thought that he was going to be dead 2 episodes ago.
I did too. I thought he was like my number one, like he's going to die character.
So that was a really big, like, what?
But I mean, the twist was like Hodor was a twist. That was a really big twist. That was part of the books. That was a really big twist. And I want to know, where was the third twist?
There wasn't one. They just were done. After he stabbed Danny, because it was going good. It was going okay. We're getting there. We're like,
Right, we got kind of a Nisa with him stabbing her. Did you see the whole her laying and him holding her? That was totally that. If you go back and you look at my video from this last video I just made before this episode, I put that picture in it of him, the Nisa prophecy with him. It was somebody actually did an art picture of him holding her, almost exactly like that picture, like that scene.
It was really good.
It was.
I couldn't really tell where the sword was placed.
It was in the middle. It was in her heart.
I knew that when he embraced her and kissed her, because he was never all about that. He was always pushing her away with the kisses. So when he did kiss her, I was like, oh, here it is. Here it comes.
Alicia says she thought that Danny's death, that Danny got cheated. That she says, I think they cheated Danny's death too. She deserved a better death.
Like they did the Lannisters. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. It was too, like, I mean, I expected him to stab her in the heart.
Yeah.
I just didn't expect it that plainly. You know what I mean?
They were setting it up like that. I knew they were setting it up as it was going on. That because she was just like, her eyes were, she was such a good actress. I mean, really good with her eyes and just like mad, you know.
She really believed what she was saying. She really believed that she was there to take over the world.
Yes.
So.
And I'm going to kill more people. We're going to do it together. We're going to kill and cleanse the earth. And oh my God.
It was, Alicia says it was slow, and it was slow.
It was so slow.
It was so slow.
You said that when we were sitting down, you're like, can they waste our time anymore with these shots? Like, let's look into Tyrion's eyes longer.
Yeah, like, really? We're just going to sit here and look at Tyrion for 60 seconds like this.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, is he dead?
And the blackouts in the next scene were really long. Slow blackout, and scene. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
They ran out of stuff to write about.
Yep, she says long drawn shots. Ridiculous. It was ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
How'd you... So I'm doing the rewatch, okay? I'm rewatching. I've already passed where Grey Worm slits their throats and Jon tries to stop him, and I'm now at Tyrion where he goes to look for his brother and his sister, or his brother.
I love that. I brought a tear to my eye. I was really sad about that. That was good acting.
This was, like I said, all of this part I think was good. All of this beginning part was started really strong. Other than the long Tyrion walk, that was like, really, guys, were you gonna waste a whole 2 minutes on nothing? But I thought it was going to Dueñas. Well,
I liked it.
It was going to die as well. I thought he was going to die as well. She was talking about Tyrion, I think. You thought Tyrion was going to die as well?
When he said to her, he's like, you freed your brother. He's like, yeah, well, you burned the city.
Right.
I mean, it was on its way. It was really good for a while.
I liked the way he did that. I liked the way he just went up to her and was just like, I can't do this. And he was like, take this pen. I can't be your hand. Go ahead, execute me. I mean, he tried everything he could to save these people. He released Jaime for the reason, not because he loved his brother, but because he said, I know she's going to execute me for this, but if it saves all these people's lives, it's worth it.
People, and he said, okay, fine, go. You and my sister, go off. Go do your thing. I'm over it. Just save the people.
Yeah. Just save the people. Promise me.
Go make a new life. Go on. I don't need to worry about that shit, but let's just save the people.
She says, also, it took Tyrion way less time to walk through, I think she means the city, than every other person while dying. He walked through the city so quick.
I know.
Right? He was in the doorway, and then he was in the keep.
Yeah.
Then he was in the dungeon. Well, they had
That was so confusing. He stabs Danny, and all of a sudden we're what, months apart?
They did a time jump, but it was only about a month. They said a few weeks.
Crazy.
Long enough for everybody to come, which you were right about that. Everybody came, right? Except
everybody came.
Varys's letters meant nothing, I guess.
Nope. I think the actors were being very sarcastic.
What I don't get is why didn't anybody say, "Oh, we got Varys's letters"? I mean, John's the rightful heir. I mean, what?
They didn't even acknowledge that at all.
Nobody acknowledged it. They didn't talk about Varys's letters. There was nothing.
They didn't talk about John being the true king. Nothing. They totally skipped over that like it didn't happen.
Yeah, like he wasn't. It didn't matter.
Not even his brothers or sisters mentioned it. None of them.
Nobody said anything about it.
They just totally wrote that whole part out.
Alicia says it was weeks and they look like they lived in there for years. It was 4 weeks and they looked like they lived in the dungeon for years. That's what she's saying.
Yeah.
Bad scene. Bad scene.
He couldn't grow a beard like Peter did. Peter grew that beard, boy, I tell you. That was probably 2 days worth of beard.
Yeah.
Such a good actor. Oh my gosh. He did good. He carried that show to the end.
Yeah, he did. Tyrion.
He did it for us fans too.
I think so too. I think a lot of the actors were, I mean, they butchered the ending. We knew they were going to. I mean, it wasn't like this was going to be a surprise. What could they do left now in one episode? I guess I was expecting, I don't know. I was expecting a lot more throughout the whole season. So she says, except for the battle episode, that was great. You're talking about episode 3 then. She liked episode 3. The battle itself. The battle was pretty good. I really liked episode 2.
Yeah, the directing was great. Acting's good. I mean, just the lines and the writing of how they went about it and not tying it into the whole stories that we had for 9 years. That was the bad part.
Right. She says also it should have been better. Yeah, it should have been better. We agree. It should have been better. I think I really liked. I just saw the part where she gets off of Drogon and where his wings fly up behind her. That was a really cool scene. I liked that. I liked that scene. It just looked really cool. But so there were some moments. They had some good moments, you know, in this episode, I think. But I think it was just, again, it comes back to the writing. It's like I was happy that Arya went west of Westeros. I pegged that they were going to make Jon go north of the wall, and then I didn't want that. I pegged that Jon was going to kill her because they weren't going to give 2 kills to Arya, you know. But it doesn't mean that I liked it all. It just means that I saw that coming and was foreshadowed. You know, I don't know what else.
I just was really like they really gave Grey Worm a lot of whoever the actor is. They got him on. They really built his character up.
They did. They gave Grey Worm all this stuff I didn't.
A lot of power.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I did not expect that at all. You know, and you know that episode, this part of when Jon walks up. I'm not there yet. I'm at the part where she's, you know, talking to all of her men. That's where I am in the rewatch. She's doing such a good job too, by the way. I mean, she's really doing a good job with the scenes, you know, herself, carrying them. But you know the part where Jon walks up and all of a sudden Drogon gets up out of the because the ashes have been falling on him. I guess he'd been laying there for some time, and he gets up and he goes over and he sniffs Jon, right?
I know you.
Yeah, and then he lets him go in, right?
It shall pass. Yeah.
I thought that was really cool, and I really thought there was going to be some connection there. You know, like the fact that he burned the chair, but he didn't burn Jon. I thought there was going to be some connection there. I thought when they went north of the wall, when Bran said, I'm going to go find
I
Drogon.
think that was just paying homage to the Targaryens. I think that was just him saying, okay, I'm not going to kill you because I know what you did and I know the reason why you did it and I know who you are. So I think that was just, him doing that for him. But this is my mother and we're out of here, peace out, and took off. So, I mean, they didn't get us anything of Lord of the Lights, nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
They totally dropped all of that. And that was a pretty good opportunity to do that.
Alicia says, it was like you found out that you had to go somewhere and had to get dressed in a hurry, but your button broke, so you safely pinned your pants so you can leave. That is season 8. Good analogy. That's exactly what it was. Forget about the button-down shirt and the collar. You know what I mean? How about the tie? And don't forget the what do you call it? The cufflinks. You know what I mean? Like
you're all dressed up for the party. You're so excited to get there, and it's boring.
Yeah, exactly.
One party, you spent so much money on the dress.
Yes. You spent so much money and there's no one there to see. I think it's that you ripped it and you couldn't fix it. So like Alicia said, we put some pins in it. Put your pants, you put your pants on and leave. That's what she says. 10
years, man. 10 years and this is what they give us.
Yeah. This is upsetting. Someone's going to redo this ending, guys. Someone's going to redo it. There's just no way. There was no magic in this ending. There was no mystery. There was what?
Well, whatever politics and issues and whatever they had, argument they had, they really were still pissed off about whatever happened. And they let this go.
I think so too. It's going to come out, Eventually, it's going to come out. It's going to come out what happened between Dan and Dave and George R.R. Martin.
Yeah.
They can't have a new show on HBO and had a problem with HBO.
Yeah, because that preview at the end looked like it was their stuff.
I hope not, because I thought the preview looked good. And if they're writing it, it ain't going to be good. Either that or they just didn't give a shit about this anymore and they just dropped the ball.
I told you, they're going to do more of that stuff to hook. So they're all going to look for other books and other things to do so they can make more money on other books and other stuff. They can't think on their own. They need to do other people's shit.
Alicia said that it is sad, but I was not kidding. Production said it took 2 years because they could not find snow long enough to do the battle scene. But I heard they filmed that battle scene in 60 nights, almost like 60 consecutive nights. And they were blowing snow. I've seen a lot of the makings of the episodes. I mean, they create those scenes. I mean, I know they go north of the wall. I mean, I know they go like to Croatia. Not Croatia. I think it's Iceland a lot to film these things. And so I know they didn't spend 2 years because they had to film the battle separately. You know what I mean? That was just because they had everybody together. And they wrote this whole series before they ever started filming. So, they wrote this whole season. So that should really be no bearing on.
It was right when George R. Martin said, I'm not doing this. Well, that's probably what he got pissed off about. He read this and was like, this is stupid.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
I'm not being part of this because you're not doing it right. Yeah.
And he's very big about that. Yeah, Alicia says that they spent all their time on the first 3 episodes. I agree. I think they spent so much time and money on episode 3 and, everything else. I mean, I know there was quite a bit of CGI with the dragons and all that, but I feel like everything else was just dialogue. And there was some good dialogue. I would say that my favorite episode would have been episode 2. It felt like that was the one that I really felt like this was a really good episode. right?
Oh, yeah, where she got knighted.
Yes, when Brienne got knighted, and when there was all the dialogue, all the talking, all the anticipation of the battle. The battle itself was pretty good. It was pretty good. There was, except for the whole, ninja aria.
Yeah, the Flash.
Yeah, the Flash ninja aria. Yeah, that was a little bit far-fetched, and then the fact that they didn't do any. I felt like they spent too much time showing us a lot of dead people that apparently weren't really dead people. There really wasn't that many as they made it seem like. And they gave us like not enough of the Night King and his men and his, and the others, his commanders. Like they could have done something more with them.
Yeah, in fact, it's funny because when they're walking at the end, the wildlings, one of the actors walking out, I think on the left of the screen, he looked like one of the commanders. I was like, hey, that guy looks familiar. His walk looks familiar.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were, some of the wildlings were the same actors. Absolutely. Yeah. You can count on that for sure. They reuse the same actors for that, or extras. They have like a big group of extras that these are their regular extras that they use for lots of the main things. And I would say that that's absolutely probably the same actor. So it's upsetting, guys. But we knew this was coming, right? I mean, it was Sincerely Sicilian that was on with us earlier, and she had said that she had seen the leaks for episode 5 and 6, and that it was going to be disappointing. It was going to be disappointing.
Yeah, we got no fairy tale, no more magic, no Children of the Forest, no Lord of Light, nothing. Just we barely got the Nisa, just a little bit of it.
Yep. Yeah, I think we got the Dany's vision. I think we did get that. If you really think about it, we definitely got the treason to love, the treason for love. I think that was John. I really do. That was John. He said, "I love you, and you'll always be my queen," and he killed her out of love. He knew that she had gone mad, and he couldn't let her destroy the world, kill anymore. And
I said that it's not gonna take threatening his sisters. He should see it right there and then.
Yeah, and he did.
I'm glad he had that talk with Tyrion.
You called it, Quaith. You did say that it was going to be Tyrion. I didn't think he was going to do it over Tyrion, but I think once he begged her, please don't do this, show mercy, and she refused. So I'm at that part now. I'm at that part now.
What he had to do.
I am at that part now where he is talking to Tyrion. And you know what it was that got him? I think what got him was when he was walking out the door. He was walking out the door.
When he sat down, he knew what he had to do. When he sat down, after Tyrion's speech, he had to catch his breath. He knew what he had to do. But he could not verify. He couldn't tell that to Tyrion.
Yeah, he couldn't.
Go on his own and think about it and make that decision.
I also think, though, that that was mocking. Do you remember when Ned was in the cell?
Yeah.
And right when he said, "You want me to trade my honor for a few more years of wall? I would rather die." And Varys said to him, "What about the life of your daughters? Does their life mean anything to you?"
Yeah,
and
Tyrion did say that. What about your sisters?
What about your sisters?
Do you see them bending the knee?
Right. Do you see that happening? So he knew. I really think I think we were both right. I think he was pleading for Tyrion's life, and she was going to execute him, and he couldn't watch that happen. And he knew that the next was going to be her attacking the rest of the world, and whoever didn't bend the knee, they were going to be next. And she was going to take down their entire city, and he was not going to let her go, destroy Winterfell, kill her sisters and all of his banner and all his men. He wasn't going to do that.
It's so sad that his bloodline and who he was did not come and play in the show at all. At all.
It's like he's the king.
It's like they totally ignored that.
Yeah.
I really thought that when they brought Tyrion out that he was going to bring that up, but he was like, we have to choose someone. I thought Tyrion was going to say, well, there's already a chosen one.
Right.
We already know.
That's exactly what I thought. I thought he was going to say, Jon is the obvious choice.
Jon is the only king. He is the king.
Right.
You know?
I thought that's what they were going to say.
And that's what we mean about them changing Tyrion's character. This is what we're saying. That they really messed up his character. His acting's good, but they really made him do lines and do things that did not match the last 9 years of the show.
I'm reading Alicia's comments. When you see me laugh, you know I'm reading somebody's comments, guys. I'm sorry, Quaith, I don't mean to cut you off. But she says, I liked Ninja Arya, but then they rushed it, and then she couldn't even make it out of the library.
I know.
And then she says, sisters. I think she was reiterating something. They couldn't even. I think she's talking about them being his sisters. And then she says, so the spinoff series, what do you think? I say Arya for sure, the beginning of the White Walkers, and I don't know. So if you don't know, I don't know if there's going to be a spinoff series. I think it could happen. It probably won't happen right away. But I could see them waiting 5 years or 10 years from now and then doing a spinoff series off of this and trying to either redo the last season to create a better story to move from there. I could see that happening. But what's coming first is going to be the prequel. They're going to go, they don't want to recreate this story with the same characters. They'll have to cast new people when that time comes. People that probably will play the roles well, and people will forget what they looked like or whatever. But they're going to go back 1,000 years.
Well, they didn't even give any explanation at the end of any commentary at the end about this episode.
Well, like I said, I was expecting commentary, but then I forgot they're going to do that whole extra episode next week. Next Sunday, they're going to have a whole thing, and it's basically a gigantic commentary with not only Dan and Dave, but with all the actors.
It's
a documentary, basically. Of everybody. Yeah, it's going to be probably a whole hour of, the Game of Thrones, the last season, the closing of everybody, everybody's thoughts.
They didn't market it. They market the other movie that's coming up, the next series, which I believe is probably theirs.
I guess we'll find out, won't we?
I know I want to watch it.
Yeah. She says there will be 3. HBO and I think George R. Martin announced there will be 3. Oh, what they're saying is they have 3 different series in the works right now, but they're actually only going to start filming one of them. So they had 5 ideas actually before that. So there's absolutely other storylines out there, but as far as I know, and I could be wrong about this, but as far as I know, none of them are actually a spin-off series. They're all, stories from the books, because this is the end story of thousands of years of stories of Game of Thrones. There is Robert's Rebellion. There is no reason they could not do Robert's Rebellion, because they didn't give us jack shit of Robert's Rebellion. Okay. There is Dunk and Egg. There is the Fall of Valyria, along with the Doom of Valyria. There's a ton of stories out there that HBO now owns, because they bought them from George R. R. Martin, that they can go back and do. So HBO is not done with Game of Thrones.
I can't believe they paid homage to Fire and Ice.
Yeah, I loved that. I called that one too. I called that one too. I knew he was going to write the book, right? I knew that. That was like, definitely, you can go back and watch that.
What happened? They didn't put Tyrion in it? Is that what the whole joke was?
That Tyrion wasn't in the book. Yeah, that was what the whole joke was.
And he kind of closed it and put it aside.
Yeah, like, I'm not in the book. Fuck it, I don't want to read it. How can he not be in the book?
And they didn't give us the ending to the damn show.
Yes. That to me was a big F you.
Absolutely.
They were like, I'm going to tell you the beginning of the joke again, but I ain't going to tell you the rest of it. Fuck you too, Dan and Dave. I'm not watching your shit from now on. Man.
It's not theirs, though. They have no creative writing. They're just going to make another contract with another book writer and screw them over also.
The
They're
spoilers.
using someone else's shit to get rich. They're using someone else's books to get so much money.
Yeah. Sincerely Sicilian's here. She says the spoiler from Reddit nailed it. So she's saying that the guy, I guess the leak that came from Reddit was the one that was 100% correct, and that everything that happened was what she saw in the leak. So it's sad that the leak it still got out, and there were still a lot of people out there who knew who it was going to end, and it was still out there. Yeah, but I'm glad I didn't watch it, because I think I might have been so discouraged that I might have not even watched the series. I think it would have upset me that much. Oh, I really liked this part. I really think I liked the Dani death scene. I think that part I really was happy with, but I'm at the part where she's with the Dani death scene. She's walking into the throne room right now. I'm watching it. She's walking into the throne room. I love that she goes to touch the throne.
Yeah, I liked all that. And that's what I'm saying. They were going really good. I think everything was good.
Yeah. She did. She touched it, but she never sat on it. And John was in the background behind her. And he comes in and he's pleading with her, right? I really liked this scene. It was a good scene. It was a good scene.
After Drogo went off flying with her, after that it just went in a whole different direction.
Alicia's taking off. She's got her 2-year-old crying. And she's glad she could finally join us. We are so glad you came to join us, Alicia. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, okay?
Yeah, and we're going to continue with George.
We are. We're going to continue. We're going to have other stuff going on. Come back and join us. Put that notification bell on so you'll know when we start a live stream. It'll ping you if you put that notification bell on, okay? We love you too. She says she loves us and glad she could finally join. We're glad that you're with us.
Yeah. Me too.
Yes, us too. Yeah, I know we're going to get some more people that are going to start watching. I know a lot of people, they have their other YouTubers they like to watch for a little while. And then once they see their thoughts and ideas, then they'll come over and join us. And because they know that we're actually going to respond to their messages.
Yeah.
So invite some people over and let them know that we'll actually communicate with you guys. We want to hear what you think. And we want to be able to have a conversation about it. So Sincerely Sicilian, tell us what you thought. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Was it better than the leak sounded?
Was it what you expected that they were going to do?
Right, like it's, What did you think? What did you think about it? Oh, I want to see the death scene. She's so happy too. She's so happy about destroying the city. She's smiling. And she's
and going on to kill more people and kill more kids. They have no choice.
They have no choice. This is the way it is, and we're doing the right thing.
They really wrote her in as the Mad Queen.
Yeah, they really did.
Her dad.
Yeah, they did. They really, really did. I was really blown away with that too. And for a minute there, I really thought John was gonna join in with her. Did you think that? Did you buy that, Quaith?
No. I knew he was gonna do what he did. It was very Shakespeare. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't like kissing her. That's not part of his values. He's always pushed her away. So when he pushed her forward and went to grab her and was agreeing with her, I thought, oh, he's up to something. Yeah. So
you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Well, yeah,
but I'm gullible.
All this time he's been pushing her away. Every time she went to kiss him, he's been the one backing off of it.
And I did notice that, but I also noticed in every time, and I looked, believe me, I'm the lover, right? I'm the one that's always looking for love. And so I noticed that every time he would go to kiss her, he would kiss her and he would want to, but then he just couldn't. And
he was wasted, it was a drug dial.
No, that was just the first time. The second time when they were in front of the fire, he went to kiss her again. If you pay attention, his arm went around her and he went to hold her, and then he just pulled his arm back because it was like he wanted to, but he just couldn't.
He remembered who they were and who she was and the whole thing.
The whole thing that you're my aunt. I can't do this. This is wrong, you know? And I think that's where he, you know, and I thought in the moment when he started to kiss her and he really started to kiss her, I thought that, okay, he's embracing the Targaryen brother, you know, what is it called? Incest thing.
Yeah.
I believe that he was actually doing that. And I'm like, where did he get that dagger from?
What do you think about Drogo's reaction? That if she can't have the throne, no one can have the throne, and he melts it. What do you think about that reaction?
I liked it. I thought it was real appropriate.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, I mean, he was like, if she can't have it, no one can have it. And, you know, I'm going to take my mom and take off. I mean, it was kind of not the ending I wanted for the dragon. I didn't want to ride him off like that. But, okay, that's what they did. You know, taking her and taking off and not him coming back.
Yeah, I really thought that he was going to come back for Jon. I really thought there was going to be something there. Sincerely Sicilian says, I'm not happy. Although Reddit got it, I was a bit more satisfied seeing it fleshed out. So I think she was like, I felt like that about season 7. I knew not everything, but a lot of what was going to happen in season 7 because I read all the leaks last time. And it was when I would hear about the leaks, it was like, man, that's gonna suck. But then when I saw it, it was like, okay, this is not bad. Okay, this actually they did a really good job with the whole thing. It sounded cornier than it looked, and I'm sure that's probably how Sincerely Sicilian feels. It's like, you know, you read it, you hear about the leak, and it's like that's really sucky. But then when you see it on screen, it's like, okay, this is pretty good. You know, it's much better when you see it and when you really see it played out. I loved that at the end. I don't know who got to see my last video, but I found an art somebody drew an art piece of Jon holding Daenerys with the, you know, with the dagger in her chest and him holding her out. It was exactly like that in this scene, and I really liked it. Really liked that. You know, I think they did good all up to this, right? We said that, right, Quaith? We were like totally like, don't get so far. This is good.
Came in and, you know, was burning the chair and did not and still respected Jon because who he was. Yeah, I liked all that. They were really on their way, and then.
I mean, I think I loved the way he Drogon's, you know, nudges her. He nudges her. And, you know, he burned the chair, all of it. I'm watching all that part right now. I really, really liked that part. It's like they did so good, you know, up to this scene and up until after this scene. And, yeah, I was very pleased. Jon was ready for him to burn him too. He was like, okay, just do it. Just go ahead, just kill me.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So... yeah, so we've got a few more people watching, guys. Y'all pipe in, guys. Let us know what you think. We want to hear what you think. We're doing a rewatch. I'm at the part where Drogon, we think he's gonna burn Jon, but he doesn't, and he's starts burning the chair instead.
Yeah.
So love that part. I think everything went bad after this, right? And this was early in the episode. They killed Dany early in the episode. So I think that her death itself could have been a little bit better. But I still like the way it went down. I do like the way that it went down. So what else do you think, Quaith?
I think it was interesting how they brought all the actors back, like Knights at the Round Table time, just to say bye to everybody. Because their lines sucked, all their lines. It was like they didn't know what to do. Grey Worm was like, pick one, pick somebody to be the king. It was just cheesy. But I liked that all the actors were there.
Think about it, it was like all the secondary characters except for Arya and Sansa and Bran. Okay, other than the three of them, you had Robin from the Vale.
Yeah.
And one of the Lords of the North was sitting next to him. There was two Lords of the North sitting next to him, right?
Yeah.
And then on the other side, you had Yara.
Yeah, there was a part where I took a sip of wine and I could not hold it back because it was so stupid.
Yeah.
And I spit my wine out.
Yes, I remember. There was Yara. There was the new Prince of Dorne. You know, they look like they got one of the old costumes and just put it on that guy.
Oh, that actor looks exact. I know who that actor was.
Yeah. And then there was who else was there? Gendry. Gendry was there. He was now a lord.
Yeah, acting like nothing happened between him and Arya. That was so stupid. All that was so stupid.
And then you had Sam representing his house. You have Brienne representing her house, I suppose. Davos. And there seemed like there was two other guys there.
He had no idea. He even said, I don't know if I have a vote, but I'm going to say something anyway.
Right. I don't have a vote, but yay. You know, I thought
that. An actor getting paid millions of dollars for this episode, so I came.
Right. So, I mean, who was really left, though, at the end? It was really not nobody, right?
It was so stupid. That was the stupidest. They had no line. It's like they were ad-libbing. It's like they went in and said, do whatever y'all want to say. Do whatever y'all want.
Right. Everybody just make up your own lines here. Yeah, I'm at the very long pause of just Tyrion's face in prison. Like, can we get any slower? You know, I should do it for as long as he does it.
Yeah, his Grey Worm going on the boat.
It's still going on.
Looking at it. That was just, I just can't believe Grey Worm lived.
I am shocked by that too. But I think after he lived through the battle.
Friends of the writers or something.
I think after he lived through the battle, though, and he lived through last episode, I knew he wasn't going to die in this episode. I didn't expect him to. I didn't. I was still holding on hope, though, for a baby Targaryen, or I was still holding hope for, you know, going to the Isle of Faces.
I figured, you know, for sure when they walked out there when they were in the door close behind them, that as they walked, they were going to look down and it was the symbols, you know?
Yes.
You thought you got us, but they didn't.
I was looking for some notion that they were going to see that the White Walkers were not necessarily gone. Yeah. I was also waiting.
Led us to the next sequel.
Right. That would have led us to the next sequel of, you know, you can't kill them forever kind of thing. Yeah. I also felt like they kept bringing up Drogon. Like, have you seen Drogon? Have you seen the dragon? Yeah. And Bran was like, yeah, I'm going to go look for him.
So they did leave it open for something else. There is more storyline they could do.
I think so. I think they definitely left something open there so that in the future, years from now, they can have a sequel if they wanted. They could totally have a sequel. I think leaving Drogon out there and Jon, a living Targaryen who still had a connection with that dragon, I think that in the future he could climb on top of that dragon's back and, you know, it could be something. And I was kind of expecting that. I was expecting him to go out north of the wall and the dragon to come down, you know, and him get on top of it and go flying or some shit. You know what I mean? Like fly off. That would have been a good ending for me. That's my Targaryen shit back here. You know what I mean?
More dramatic.
Yeah, I was not happy with that, right? So, I'm at that part now where they're all standing there around talking. I think we had said earlier, right, Quaith, that we were expecting them to say, you know, what about Jon? You know, he is the king. What the hell? I guess they couldn't let the Queen Slayer be a king. Is that what it is?
She had no true right to it in the first place. She was just a conqueror. But they didn't want to say all. They threw all that out because it would have led to a whole bigger, deeper story. So they let it go. But I do like that they had everyone out there at Knights of the Round Table, and we got to say bye to our the actors that we've seen throughout the show.
Yeah.
Now Yura was not happy about John. She was still on board about Danny, right?
Yara,
yeah.
Yeah, Yara, but see, they come from a group of people who, rape and take what you can. Kill who you want and take what you can, and
so
whoever.
She was like, he killed our queen.
Right. She was upset. She was like, I'm not voting for him. He killed it. So I think that was the problem, is you had half of them who were like, no, this guy killed the queen. And then you had the other half that were like, thank God he killed the queen. You know what I mean? So the only middle ground was to send him back to the Night's Watch, which of course he was Lord Commander there. Of course he was like the leader with Tormund. Of course he was. He wasn't going to not be a leader in that position. All the wildlings followed him. They all saw him as their king.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he became king north of the wall. Pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
I think that was the point of the ending, though, is that in the end, they all had a leading position. You have Arya, who was going west of Westeros to conquer whatever new world she was going to find. You have Sansa, Queen of the North. You've got.
They pay homage to Texas. They're going to be independent. They don't need them.
Independent. Yes, I totally think that was.
I was like, oh yeah,
go Texas. Go Texas.
Let's be independent. We don't need them.
Yes, and then you have
our own sources.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really cool.
And you have Brandon, who was, king of the 6 kingdoms, right? And then you have John, who was like king of the North. So our king of beyond the wall, the king beyond the wall kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they all, it's funny how like all the Starks had a leading role at the end, and they're the ones who actually survived. Whereas, you got Tyrion still left as the Lannister. There was one from each house, basically, still living for the most part.
Yeah.
So, I also
Pod became a knight.
Pod became a knight. I did see that. I was very cool with that. Yeah, I liked that a lot. I liked how they ended that too at the table there, where they were talking, and they were creating a new council.
Paying homage to Jaime.
Yes, they did. And I had always thought that they would come up with somewhat of a democracy. It wasn't necessarily a democracy, I guess, because they laughed at the idea of letting the people vote. But I'm sure there's no way you're going to go from way one king and queen, rule.
Yeah, well,
all the way
was to show how they changed the table, the politics at the table, which nobody really there was of money. They all got there from hard work and, like brawn and everything.
Right, everybody at the table, right?
Voice of the people, basically.
Right, they really kind of were, if you look at it that way, right?
They were the people, yeah.
There was Tyrion the Imp. There was Bronn, who was a cell swordsman. There was Sam, who was always treated like he was never good enough, and he came from the Night's Watch, and right? Who else was there? There was Brienne.
It was still building, and they go, "We're gonna make this better." And he's like, "I know, because it's still building. This is all new. This is like Tyrion said, the wheel that Danny always thought that would be."
They did break the wheel
with no kids, no one fighting.
Right.
What they voted for that were the stronger men for the job.
And they said that from this day forward, this is what Tyrion said. I'm at that part now where Tyrion says, from this day forward, there will never be the son of a king that will rule. But each time when a king's term ends, a new king will be chosen by the lords and the ladies of the lands. It will never be again, because if you think about it, he was right. Every time you have a good king, his sons were bad kings. Almost every time. If you look at even Aegon Targaryen, and then his first rightful son was a wimp. Okay, I don't know if you know that these facts, Quake, but the things that I know about Aegon, he had 2 sons. and one of them was a weak ruler who didn't have a spine, and the other one was, I forget his name, but the other one was Magar the Cruel, and Magar the Cruel I think he ended up killing his other brother, and he ended up taking the throne, and he was cruel, so you had Aegon, who was this great king and ruler, but then his sons were shitty, and it would always was kind of like that. When you had a really good king, whoever came after them was shitty most of the time. So that's what he said was true. Good thing he can't bear children, because, all the children of great kings are shitty anyway.
Yeah.
So I liked that ending.
He knew it. I mean, there was a little bit of an old Tyrion in there. They brought a little bit back. Like, he knew things before they were going to happen.
Right. I'd like to see that they at least gave him some wisdom at the end, since they butchered him the rest of the season. Yeah. And I like that Bran was like, nope, you're going to be my hand. That's the way it goes.
You said I didn't want to be king, so I know you don't want to be hand, so we're both going to be doing jobs we don't want.
Right.
I could do it, you could do it.
I thought that was crappy, though, that Bran didn't have some mystical ending. He didn't have some mystical...
Yeah, when he said I could go get Drogo, I thought, here it is, this is it.
Right? I thought that, too. That's why I thought he was going to appear with Jon or something, when he was north of the Wall. So...
Yeah, it was a little disappointing.
Yeah. I think it was Alicia that said that earlier. It's like, so Bran's whole purpose was, to go north of the Wall, to become the three-eyed raven, so he could be king.
Ridiculous.
That can't be how George R. R. Martin's going to write the book. we're going to have to wait 10 years to find out what George R. R. Martin's real ending is, if he lives to write the ending. And
it's written,
how much you want to make a bet that the real ending never gets revealed, and we will see lots of endings for Game of Thrones throughout the next 10 to 20 years? We're going to see lots of people write endings for the Game of Thrones, and they're going to remake it over and over and over, just like Batman. Just like they show us all the storyline of Batman, or all the different ways you can write it, you know what I mean? Where they remake it every 5 years or 10 years. I think
and then it gets cheesier and cheesier and cheesier.
Well, I mean, I hope it doesn't get cheesier. I hope that there's going to be some good endings that are going to come from all of this. I really do. I really hope that we will get some good endings. So we shall see. We shall see.
Yeah, we shall see.
We shall see.
What's next in our agenda? What are we going to do? George R. R. Martin stuff now? I'm excited about it.
I think so. I think so, guys. If you are watching this video, we're going to ask you guys, please give us a thumbs up. We're not going anywhere, okay? I don't know that we'll probably take a week or a week break, after this. I don't know if we will do another. If we decide to do another live stream about the final season, about the final episode, I will definitely post something to let you guys know. Quaith, you and I can discuss that, whether we want to do that or not.
Agree. Yeah, I'm on board. Let's do it.
We could try to do that maybe before we go out of town Friday, so maybe we could even do it Thursday night.
Yeah.
If you wanted to. So we have a chance to really watch it, kind of do our routine for Thursday night. We will not be here for Sunday for that last documentary episode they're going to do. So we'll probably do watch that and then do maybe a live stream about it after.
Yeah.
Sometime maybe next week. But then we're going to have some new things that are going to be coming on. We've been talking about Cooking with John. We've been talking about getting into another show. If you guys got any requests, is there a show you're watching that you want us to check out that you think would be really cool? We would love to hear your ideas and your opinions, So, Quaith, I know it's late. Do you want me to let you go?
Yeah, I'm going to go. Thanks, guys. It was fun, and stay tuned for what we have coming up.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Quaith. Good night. So, just wanted to continue with that conversation. Is that if there's any shows that you guys like, anything that you think would be really good, I really love the Last Kingdom. That's probably one of my favorite other shows, and I know it's going to be coming back soon. So I may decide to do some reviews on the Last Kingdom. Anybody who likes that show, please let me know. I like to hear from my viewers. I like to know what you guys are interested in as well. I am a designer. I design and I build, a lot like what you see on HGTV, but it's a little more realistic than that. And I may start. My partner and I have been talking a lot about recording some of our jobs and then creating, like little clips, little movies out of them. So we may do that in the future. Probably not right away, but it is something that was definitely in the works. It's something they're going to be talking about, other than Cooking with John. So, and then like I said, we're gonna be exploring some other shows. So I hope you guys enjoyed the last episode. I would say I give it a 50-50. I'm a 50-50 on it. I'm definitely gonna rewatch it again and again until I'm tired of it. So don't forget to comment. And I always love to hear what you have to say, what you think. Always want to get some feedback from you. I respond to every person who comments on my videos, guys. Everybody gets a response from me. Come and check us out on our live streams. I will continue to post and let you know when we're going to have a live stream, and I will keep you informed. And if you have any requests, you can always check out my channel. You can always send me a request. You can always send me a comment, anything you like. And so I thank you so much for joining us. And, Drogon lived in the end. I got to have one, right? I got to have Drogon live in the end. So I'm really happy for that. And so I'm going to end with my famous line. A dragon is not a slave. Have a good evening and good night.